Menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is a series of natural changes in hormone production and the structure of the uterus and also the structure of the ovaries of the female reproductive system that make pregnancy possible. The menstrual blood contains shedding of the endometrium, endometrial cells, glands of the endometrium and blood capillaries, and also this is mixing with the unfertilized egg from the ovaries. These all are mixing and forming like a menstrual blood, and this blood is coming from the uterine body and it is entering into the cervix and into the vagina and coming to the outside of the body. This is called as menstrual blood. Who is getting the menstrual cycle? The adolescent girls, they are getting menstrual cycle first time in their life in the age of adolescence, 12 to 18 years between that. That is called as menarche. First time they are getting menstrual cycle, first menstrual cycle is called as menarche. And what are the hormones are responsible for the menstrual cycle and ovulation? There is a 5 types of hormones are responsible for this two process. One is gonadotrophin hormone, luteinizing hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, and estrogen and progesterone. This hypothalamus is releasing the gonadotrophin hormone into the blood capillaries of the anterior pituitary gland. This anterior pituitary gland is stimulated by gonadotrophin hormone and also responds for the releasing the two types of hormones. One is follicular stimulating hormone and one is luteinizing hormone. Again, this follicular stimulating hormone stimulating the ovaries of the female reproductive system and also releasing the two types of hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And this is the structure of the female internal structure of the ovary, and there is a starting development of the primordial follicles, and every month the females are releasing some type of follicles, and in that more than 5 follicles they may be releasing depending upon the age, and in that only one dominant follicle is going to be maturing and it is forming like a primary follicles and developing follicles, and it is ready to ovulation, and remaining follicles, primordial follicles are degenerating, destroying in that places itself, and only one follicle is going to be maturing for the ovulation with the help of one hormone that is called as FSH hormone, that is follicular stimulating hormone. This follicular stimulating hormone is responsible for to mature the ovum in the ovaries. And after that there is a ovulation period will start on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, that is called as ovulation. This ovulation is happening with the help of one more hormone that is called as luteinizing hormone. The luteinizing hormone is responsible for to rupture of the Graafian follicles and to release the ovum. It is called ovulation. And the follicular stimulating hormone is responsible for to mature the Graafian follicles for the ovulation. And after ovulation, the Graafian follicles is empty itself and it is forming like a yellowish structure that is called as corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is called as, after that it is going to be shedding itself. If fertilization is not occurring, it is also going to be shedding. That is called as corpus albicans. If the fertilization is occurring in the fallopian tubes and this corpus luteum is highly secreting the progesterone to give the favorable condition to the implanted egg in the fertilized egg into the uterine body. If fertilization is not occurring, this corpus luteum is decreasing the secretion of progesterone and itself it is going to be degenerating. That is called corpus albicans. By seeing this flow chart, you can able to understand what is the menstrual cycle. Mainly there is a 2 phases is there. Before ovulation phase is called as follicular phase, and after ovulation phase it is called as luteal phase. And at the same time there is a changes is occurring in the ovaries, and also simultaneously there is a changes also occurring in the uterine body. And what are the changes is occurring in the follicular phase in the ovaries? The ovaries, there is a starting of the primordial follicles. In that one follicle only going to be maturing with the help of follicular stimulating hormone up to the 14th day. Coming to the 14th day, with the help of this FSH hormone, this Graafian follicle is ready to release the ovum, that is called as ovulation. And up to this maturation, the follicular hormone, stimulating hormone is taking responsible for the maturation of the Graafian follicles. And after that 14th day onwards, there is one more hormone is taking responsible to release the ovum from the Graafian follicles, that is called as luteinizing hormone. There is a highly secretion of the luteinizing hormone is help to rupture these Graafian follicles to release the ovum or release the egg from the ovary, that is called as ovulation. This is the follicular phase changes in the ovaries. At the same time, the uterine body also having some changes during this process follicular phase. And this is also starting the menstrual cycle, and there is a shedding of the endometrial layer, endometrial cells, glands and everything, and it is forming like a menstrual cycle. And actually this menstrual cycle is starting from the day 1 to it is continue up to 5 days or 6 days. And this situation, the endometrium is shedding down and it is forming like a menstrual blade and it is degenerating. And coming to the after ovulation, what is changes is occurring in the luteal phase. After ovulation, this Graafian follicle is forming like a corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is responsible for too highly secretion of the progesterone to rebuild the and this endometrium, and this endometrium should be ready to take the implanted egg for the fetal development. That is the main responsibility for this corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is secreting the progesterone highly to give the favorable conditions for the fertilized egg. But there is no fertilization is occurring. The corpus luteum is decreasing the secretion of progesterone and it is destroying itself and it is degenerating. It is dissolving itself. That is called as corpus albicans. If the fertilization is occurring, the corpus luteum is secreting the progesterone up to 3 months of the fetal stage for the fetal development. But fertilization is not occurring. The corpus luteum is forming like a corpus albicans and it is dissolving. And at the same time, the estrogen also playing a vital role rebuilding the uterine walls and endometrial walls for the next fertilization. This is the menstrual cycle, follicular phase and luteal phase.